Welcome to the New World Woke News. Before I say anything else, I guess there's some confusion on yesterday's episode about if the CEO of WayFair has retired or not. There's split reports on it, okay? Everything you read and everything that's told to you by the mainstream media, obviously we can't believe. So, I don't know. I'm going to leave it as that. I have two sources telling me no. You got the internet saying, two sources saying yes, he did. And then I got the internet, which is all the mainstream news outlets, and the fact checkings are all not legit fact checkers. So, anywho, remember, like, comment, subscribe, comment on what you like, what you don't like. Keep it constructive, please. Tell me what you want to see. If you like what you see, subscribe. And share it. Get the news out. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to get that correction started off. Well, not a correction, but situation taken care of right off the rip. So we'll get right to Ghislaine Maxwell. She secretly has a husband that came out in court yesterday. Nobody knows who he is. She won't reveal any details, and there is no more details on it as of last I checked. It was around 5 o'clock. So yeah, it's pretty interesting to say the least. When it came to her bail, it was said, it was denied, we know that, but two victims actually came there and were pleading with the judge not to give the bail, saying that, it's their last hope, and if she gets away, or she's, suicided, or, something happens to her, they'll never get their justice, and I totally agree. But we see what our legal system did, keep in control of alleged, Jeffrey Epstein and his alleged suicide. How many of y'all believe that truly? How many of y'all believe that truly? Tell you right now, I don't. And one more thing. Her court date is continued to the 2021 in July, 1 year from now. No exact date was given, just July 2021. That's what I got. And she told the court, when she was trying to get bail, that she fled from the door when the FBI came to arrest her because she had her pajamas on and she's bashful. Yeah, that's what she says. And I thought it was pretty funny too. Trump makes a very bold statement today in the Oval Office. He said that these cities like Chicago, New York, that are totally out of control, that they're, if the liberal, democratic, far left mayors and governors and everybody involved doesn't get it under control, he has an announcement to make next week on what's going to take place, because he said he's done. And the 80 or I don't want to say the wrong numbers. So the mass amount of people that have been shot in both New York and Chicago is out of control, ridiculous. That's just shot, I said. Never mind how many are killed, is just ridiculous. And it's horrific. The kids, now babies, that are dying because of this senseless violence. And I've said it before. Where's Black Lives Matters in Chicago? I don't know. Two prominent black community leaders are demanding that they bring back the anti-crime unit because of the violence, and particularly the gun violence in New York. The anti-crime unit was a plainclothes unit that was specifically given the task to take guns off the street of New York. These glasses are giving a... Oh, man. or take the guns off the streets. Now, with that, the stop and frisk, the unpopular stop and frisk, is one of their main used tactics, and it's going to be coming back. But the reason why the crime went up, and the gun crime specifically, is because if there's nobody doing stop and frisk, if there's no cop around, they're just going to carry their guns with them all the time. So the chances of seeing a homie they don't like or what have you, and but is way up compared to they wouldn't carry it 24/7 before. They don't carry it when they were going to do a drive-by or whatever crime they're going to go do. Now they're just carrying 24/7. So the opportunity presents itself a lot more often than before. What did I do with that? Sorry about that. Totally lost my card. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry about this right now. Oh, one of the borough presidents, Adams, to prove his point, just an hour earlier at a barbecue, an innocent 1-year-old was shot and killed by a bullet from one of these folks, okay? And to prove his point, he held up a pair of baby shoes, held them up high, and said, babies aren't supposed to wear these in a coffin. And I hope that got the point across to some of these people. That's the interstate plan. Okay, also announced was in New York and Nevada, 21 MS-13 illegal aliens, but members and leaders of the gang were arrested for murder, kidnapping, and drug trafficking, okay? The ones that are responsible out of those 21 for the 7 killings of Americans, 2 of which were teenage girls. We are going for the death penalty for those folks. And I strongly agree with that. Also getting in the mix is the Eastern District of Virginia. They have arrested an MS-13 gang leader, top general, probably you call him, I guess, ranking member, and they are charging him under the terrorism statute, which gives them a lot more room, and the charges are higher. Okay? Another news, Judge Ruth Bader Ginsburg went to the hospital yesterday with the fever and chills to find out she had an infection. So she's having one of her artificial, I don't know what it's, stints maybe, cleaned out, and they didn't, my buddy who told me the news didn't tell me the exact part, but an artificial part of a surgery she had, a valve maybe got clogged. I guess they're saying they cleaned it out. She's doing good, and she's only going to be in the hospital for a couple of days, and that probably makes the Democrats super happy, because if they lose her, then a lot of their control is lost too in the supreme upper echelons, top of the court system, which just saying. It's official now. 2 weeks later, Kayne West has dropped out of the presidential race. What do you think? Why? He already picked a VP. He already paid people, and he already started collecting votes. Do you think this was because he realized it was slim chance he could win? or maybe it was a stunt for him to get a platform to get his Rolling Stone, his interviews, the ones that he got out and heard to the black people, that the Democratic Party is, basically, you don't have to vote for them. If you're black, you just automatically don't vote for them like 95% used to. Okay? Alright? And I'm thinking he used it as a platform. You make your judgments yourself. Big news, kind of. To some people, I think it's awesome news. Trump also announced today in Atlanta, Georgia, at a UPS facility that he's starting his administration on infrastructure, a huge infrastructure. And this goes all the way from high-speed trains to new highways, which we badly need, bridges, which are in deplorable shape. I don't know about your state, Connecticut's. Oh my God, our highways are horrible. But in the last administration, they added 16,000 pages of regulations. Okay? Now, how Trump explained it and how a lot of people, I never knew it was this bad. It would take, if you say you submitted to do a highway plan. Now, I always knew you had to grease certain people's hands and blah, 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 blah. But say you had to get by the environmental company first. Boom, environmental, they did their testing. Okay, you got approved. But that's A. Then you got B, C, D, E after that. Well, B doesn't start their testing and their approval process until A is done. Which is like, what? Why wouldn't A, B, C, D all get their test? You know what I mean? All be done. So it goes approval, bing, 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 bing. Alright? Now, an average highway would take anywhere from average 10 plus years, sometimes 20 years to go through. The bid prices change. Companies go out of business in that time. Everything, even the roadways probably could have possibly got impacted somehow. I don't know. But Trump removed 16,000 pages of regulations and has set the standard, which he's not happy with, at 2 years approval rating, with the goal to be 1 year. So it's at 2 years for his administration to get, and everybody else, all the environmental companies and safety and everybody else involved. They have 2 years. That's what he turn around. Proposal comes in 2 years later, maximum approved. Bam, construction begins. But that's just the start until they can work out the kinks. 1 year max is what he's going to have as his boom standard. So 1 year, you submit your bid and boom, which is amazing and the way it should be. And to many of you, I know a lot of people don't believe we're going back to the gold standard, and the way we go back to the gold standard, a new monetary system would be to bankrupt the central banks that run everything, that have ran everything the whole time, that run the whole world. And what he's doing, because he's a genius, he's going to bankrupt them. And when you're bankrupt and you're the bank, you're gone. So he'll bankrupt them, issuing the gold standard, because there's been people saying that he's taken back a lot of gold from other places. Now, I won't get into that because that will get too deep into other... What people want to say is not true. Conspiracies. I hate that word. But, alright. On that note, that was a quick one. Like, share, subscribe, comment positively, even if it's something that you want to critique. There's just no need to waste your time, because I just skip by them if they're not. And I do apologize for the confusion in yesterday's report. We'll get that straightened out. And Woody, for the New World Woke News. Check it out. I love you guys. I love this country. Remember, together we can do it. Apart, we're no good. Where we go one, we go all. I love you, America.